Good morning, students. How are you? I hope you all are doing well. Okay, let's start the new chapter. And the new chapter is heredity and evolution. But you can see here I have written only the heredity because 30% syllabus is reduced for this year from each subject. Then in this chapter, heredity and evolution, the evolution part is deleted. That's why in your syllabus for this year, it only the heredity is there. So we will learn about the heredity. Okay, let's start it. Now first introduction. Every individual, be a bird, animal, or a human, produce individuals of similar to it, and the process is called reproduction. Thus, the parents' characters are transferred to the offsprings. And transmission of the character from the parents to offspring is known as heredity. What it is called? Heredity. Getting? This heredity can be defined as the process of transmission or inheritance. Transmission and also called inheritance of characters from the one generation to the next generation. Right? Okay. Then one more thing, although offspring inherit characters from their parents, they are not the exact copy of their parents. They may differ in their skin color, है ना? Skin color may differ, height may differ, and facial features and other things. All these differences are called variation. What these differences are called? Variation. Getting? And the term variation is defined as the differences in the traits or the characters among the individuals of a species, right? And variation are inherited and accumulated, and in long term they can lead to the evolution and development of the new species, right? Okay, now one more term is there, that is called genetics, है ना? It is at the top. Genetics is the branch of science that deals with the heredity and the variation, right? In this we will study about the heredity and variation and all these phenomenon, right? And who discovered this term? And this term genetics was discovered by W. Batson. First time discovered in this term genetics in 1905, right? Okay, now it is clear. Genetics, branch of the science which deals with the heredity and variation with these two terms. And what is the heredity? It means the transmission of the feature and characters, or also called traits, from one generation to the next. And variation, the differences in the individuals of the species or the population are called variations, right? Okay. Now I told you about the variation in traits. Then what are the traits and the characters? Now see, characters that are seen in an individual as the height, facial feature, body color, etc. है ना? Here it should be etc. are called traits. Then traits are of two types. First is called inherited traits and second is called acquired traits only. Then the traits that are transferred from the one generation to the next generation, that transfer from one generation to the next generation, are called inherited traits. These traits are determined by the germ plasm, or we can say these are determined by the genes, as the body color, eye color, hair color, and height, etc. And they may also generate spontaneously due to the environmental factor also. It is called mutation. They may be due to the mutation, right? Mutation also one factor which affect it, and then get transferred to the future generations, right? Okay, now acquired traits are simply acquired These are simply acquired during the lifetime of an individual and are not transferred to the future generation. They will not transfer. They will transfer first one inherited and acquired traits. These are not transferred because they do not have their effect on the genes, because genes are not affected. For example, uh, you are learning, you are learning and now you are in the 10th class, but and in future you will be graduate, postgraduate, and you will have a lot of experience, है ना? But these experiences will not transfer to your child, है ना, to your babies. These are not transferred because they do not have their effect on the genes, and such type of the characters are called acquired traits, है ना? बढ़िया होता, बहुत अच्छा होता अगर ये सारी चीज़ें ट्रांसफर हो जाती तो हमें फिर से दोबारा से नहीं पढ़ना पड़ता, बट ऐसा होता नहीं है ना? द एक्वायर्ड ट्रेट्स विच आर द एक्सपीरियंसेस, है ना, दे आर, इफ दे हैव देयर इफेक्ट ऑन द जीन्स देन दे विल ट्रांसफर, अदरवाइज दे विल नॉट ट्रांसफर, है ना? और अगर वो ट्रांसफर होते हैं देन दे विल कॉल द इनहेरिटेड ट्रेट्स. तो एक्वायर्ड ट्रेट्स आर द ट्रेट्स विच do not transfer to the next generation, है ना? So these traits are not important in studies of the genetics and evolution, right? And I can give you one more example for that. If we surgically remove the tail of a mouse, है ना, अगर हम इसे कट कर दें, its future generation will not be tailless, है ना, because the removal of the tail, the removal of the tail cannot change the gene in the germ cell of the mouse, है ना? Okay. Now next, Mendel and his work in inheritance. In this figure, sorry, in this figure, you can see this person is Gregor John Mendel. He is Gregor John Mendel. Our knowledge about the inheritance of the trait is based upon the Mendel's work, and he conducted his experiment over a period of 8 years on a common garden pea plant, and the name of the pea plant is Pisum sativum, right? Okay, now see, he started his experiment on the plant breeding and hybridization, plant breeding and hybridization. And Mendel is also called father of genetics because he gave the laws of genetics, and he did a lot of work in the field of the genetics. That's why to honor him, he is called father of genetics, right? So his experiments were on plant breeding and hybridization. He is called father of genetics, and the plant which he selected, that was the garden pea, and the scientific name is Pisum sativum. Okay, now the question is why he selected this garden pea only. Then the answer is that because this garden pea have the contrasting character which he required for the experiments. Now see, this is a picture of the garden pea. You all know about it. This is a tall breed and this is a short breed. Short breed means it is dwarf one. Okay, now see. Okay, first we will discuss about the why he selected the garden pea only. है ना? Why he selected the garden pea. Then there are some characters of the garden pea which were very helpful. The first one is that garden pea plant has a short life cycle. है ना? The life cycle was the short, and then it make possible to study the several generation with a short period. Then second is it shows the several well defined and easily detectable contrasting characters, and or we can say traits, है ना? And I will tell you in the next slide about these traits. Then second is third is it is a bisexual plant. It is a bisexual plant, or flowers are bisexual, maturing of the male and female reproductive organ at the same time, and complete enclosure of the reproductive parts by the petal ensure the self pollination, है ना? Self pollination help to maintain the purity of genes. Okay, then the fourth one is artificial क्रॉस पॉलिनेशन, है ना. जिसे हम हाइब्रिडाइजेशन कहते हैं, रिमूवल ऑफ द स्टैम्स एंड सॉरी स्टैमन्स एंड डस्टिंग ऑफ द पिस्टल्स ऑफ द फ्लावर फॉर द pollen grain to desired plant. That is also can be easily achieved as the reproductive organs are large enough to see with the naked eye, है ना. So simply we can say the fourth point is hybridization can be done easily. Now, next point is fifth one is the seven traits selected by the Mendels are readily available all in the pea plants and can be raised and maintained and handled conveniently. And the sixth point is that ki pea plant produce large number of the seed it produce a large number of seed in one generation. It help in drawing authentic conclusion. Mendel performed separate crosses involving one, two, and three different contrasting features. And these crosses were, if it is done for the one character, then it is called monohybrid cross. Then two, if for two character, then dihybrid cross. And if it is done for the three characters, then it is called the trihybrid crosses. Right? Then these were the all points and the main reasons due to which he selected the garden pea for the experiments. Now, I was telling you about the contrasting features of the the contrasting feature which were present in the pea plant. Now, see, these are the features. You can see in this table. The first is flower color. The flower color is one was the purple and the second one was the white. These are also different, totally different. Flower position, one was the axial position, second was the terminal position. Axial position matlab suppose this is a plant, this is a plant, then this is the axial position and second is the hair, है ना. Then this is also a distinguishing feature, different type of feature. Then next is seed color. Seed may be one type of the seed is yellow and second green. These are also totally different. Seed shape राउंड एंड किसी किसी में टोटली चेंज है wrinkled. Then pot shape inflated and second is the constricted. What's the meaning of the constricted? It means flat. तो normally pot जो होती है उसकी this type of flat है and constricted means this type of the structure will be in the pots. ठीक है. The next is the height of the plant. Height of the plant, some plants were totally tall and some were the dwarf, है ना. So these were the seven distinguishing features which help Mendel to perform the experiments. Now see, now in this diagram also you can see, now see the features once again. The first is sorry, the first is sheet shape, round sheets, round seeds and wrinkled. Color, color color is not differentiated, and yellow and green. Flowers color, this was the seed color, now the flower color violet or purple, and second white. And pod, you can see this is the full and this is the constricted pod color green and yellow, I told you. And next is flower position, axial and terminal. Now see, flowers are at terminal position और यहाँ पे ये branches के बीच में axial position पे होंगे. The next is height. Height I told you. Distinguished height features was also there. That was in tall and dwarf. Right? Okay. These all characters helped Mendel to perform the experiment.